Yo, what's up guys? My name is Sansworld and today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make screeches in Sylenth1. Before we get started, however, just a quick note is that a sound bank is coming out on April 1st, which is going to be Kevu Next Level Sounds. For those of you guys who don't know, Kevu are pretty much getting up there when it comes to the big room sound. They've been supported by Blasterjacks, Afrojack, Headhunters, Avicii, and so many more, but the most recent ones have been Blasterjacks and Afrojack. Now, Blasterjacks also tweeted that they're the future of dance music, which is pretty cool. Said they should be on the lookout for them. And I've known Kevu, which were known as Carefix and Voltaire, for some time now. So I asked them to make this bank. Now, the bank was made by them, half of it and half by me, where I took inspiration from their sound by hearing their tracks. I was always a fan. So make sure to be on the lookout for that. These guys just released a collaboration with Ollie James. If you guys want to check out their sound and if you're interested, don't forget to support. We're going to be giving away a lot of free stuff and also doing an interview with them so they can tell us pretty much, what did they do to get the support from these big guys, which is something information that is very valuable that not a lot of people like to give away. With that being said, let's get started with the tutorial, guys. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make super saws in oscillator A1 and A2, and that's going to allow us to pretty much create the sound, the basic sound, which is going to get altered by all the envelopes and LFOs we're going to add to make the screech. So what we're going to do is put a saw with 8 voices, detunement up on each one, but we're going to overdo it so it sounds very fierce. Like that. We're going to add some release to shape this sound. So release is going to give it that tail at the end when I let go of the key, and the attack is going to make it come in slowly, as you can see there. Okay. Now, once we have that, we go into the important part of this video, which is pretty much teaching you guys how to modulate this. So what we're going to do is pitch A, since we're only using part A. If we were using part A and B, we'll go to pitch A and B. What we're going to do is, the important part here is modulate this pitch. The black knob is going to decide how much we're going to increase the pitch by. So if I were to press a note, you're going to hear how high it will go with no alterations. So it's just sustain all the way up. So this is the way you dial in how high you want this pretty much screech to go. However you want it, this roar. And with the attack, you're going to decide how fast it takes to get up there. Okay. With the decay time, you're going to decide how fast it takes from the max value to go down to the sustain level. Now, if the sustain level is set to 10, then, the decay time isn't going to even do anything. But if we set the sustain level down here, you're going to hear the decay time finally kick in. So lower decay time, you can see it goes down faster. But if my sustain was all the way up, you can see it stays up there. So however you want to do this is totally up to you what kind of screech you're going for. If you're just going for that screech, then you do that. Maybe give it some release. Now, with the release being up, you want to make sure that this amp envelope A release is up, because that's going to allow you to pretty much, get that effect. Because if this release was down, you're not even going to hear the effect that takes place. Now, if I were to pretty much tell you guys to imagine the cutoff being pitch knob, I can explain this to you guys a bit better. So pretty much right here, we're increasing the pitch by a value of 2.3. Let's say that's 3 o'clock. So it's all the way here. This is the max value, okay? In between this, we're going to have ADSR occurs. So with it being at 12 o'clock, our attack is going to decide how fast this turns to the max value. So our attack is set to 5. Let's just say it's fast. Once it's there, decay time is going to kick in. So if our decay time is pretty high and our sustain is low, let's say like at 0, decay time is going to say how fast this takes to go down to 12. However, if our sustain time is set to halfway up, decay time will just bring it all the way down to here in the center. Okay, now once we let go of the key, the release is going to kick in. And that's going to decide how fast this goes back down to 12. And that's pretty much the way ADSR works. And it's very, very simple. The important thing here is, depending if my decay time was at 0, my sustain was up, what's going to happen here, let's say we have no decay time and my sustain is at 10, fully up. My attack is going to take it like normal, like how I explained, but now it's going to stay there. No, there's no decay time. And when I let go of the key, the release will kick in and it will go all the way back down to 12. So that's the way it works. And hopefully it makes sense. If you have any more questions about it, just leave it in the comments and I can try and make things a little bit simpler there. Okay, so once we have this, let's say that's the screech we want, because we can go very slice with the screech. Now what we can do is make this squiggly effect that I heard in the new Carnage and YL track called Booty House, where the sound really goes. That's pretty much the song that made me want to make this video, and I was talking with a friend about the shittiest drop of 2015. However, the effect was cool. I thought the drop pretty much sucked. So we're gonna move the phase to the right. We're gonna give this some rate and some gain. Now here we're gonna put LFO1 rate and LFO1 gain, and we're gonna move that to the right. And what that's gonna do for us, it's gonna pretty much move this over. Now remember, we still have that pitch effect going, so if we get this effect to just come instantly in, it's not gonna give the desired effect where it's like, you know, it's gonna be, you're gonna hear it squiggling all the way through. So what we want to do is we want to give this an attack to where the point, you know, where it lags this effect from occurring. So now let's try this. Okay, so let's get it a little bit more down. And it's perfect right there. So with the attack, we get to decide how long it lags it for. Now, when I say lag, it doesn't mean it's preventing this from moving. It's moving, but it's not noticeable that it's moving because the rate here is too slow. It's more noticeable once it starts getting up here. As you can see. So it's a very, very cool effect. And if we want to make this even better, we can here add a pitch AB. Move it to the right. And in MISC 1, we're going to add here mod envelope 2. So we can add more to this envelope here. And we're just pretty much going to add the same thing. LFO2 rate and LFO2 gain. And with everything else, you can dial it in. So pretty much that's going to be the tutorial, guys. If you wanted to change the sound, all you have to do is fuck with the basic sound here. You know, we can even get stuff like this. Where that would be kind of like the hardstyle screech they use a lot. Or back in old school hardstyle, which is what I hear at the gym. And you can get really crazy stuff going on, guys. So, you know, all you have to do is keep messing. But the basis of what I want you guys to learn is down here. Mod envelope 1, mod envelope 2, LFO1, LFO2. Hopefully this video was helpful, guys. If you guys are wondering why I'm not showing my face, it's because my MacBook Pro cannot handle the Logitech camera I'm using, and it lags the shit out of it. I tried making this video like 5 times already with different settings and just never worked out. Anyways, guys, hopefully this time it works, and hopefully you get to see this video. And don't forget about the sound mic we're releasing. Stay tuned for the free stuff on the Evolution of Sound Facebook page, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, and you have a good